Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Just before we get things started here, I will say if you are new to this and you're looking to get this game, if you're tempted by the sort of Star Wars aesthetic, you can get it off of GOG, so that's www.gog.com. They're a marketplace that do sell this game as the Sega pack. You can also get it off of Steam. You can get the Saga there. If you want to play it online, you can play it on voobly.com or gameranger.com. And I'll also put a link to our community Discord just if you're looking to maybe play some games online. People can organise games there. It's not that sparsely populated. It's a very old game. So let's get started. So we've got Alphahalo here versus Calvega on Desert. It's a 1v1 here. Told that Alphahalo is just casual clone who was seen in some of the previous videos this week. A lot of nerf here, a lot of hunt, a lot of food to get things going. Desert, the preferred map of the gods for 1v1s. Just because it tends to have a decent amount of food and be a lot more even than the other maps. It's got a good aesthetic to it. So an animal nursery, gonna house these, eating one of the banthas to make sure we don't have an idle command center, and lure over the Rontos and the Dewback. Both geos, they've maybe clicked mirror random on Voobly to ensure that they each get a random civ, but those random civs aren't the same as one another. So the geos do have a good time luring because they've got that basic training at the start of the game. So they start with the 55 health and the proper armour to deal with these ferocious Rontos. So mining food away there, getting the workers out, and then we'll see what they look to do as they go into T2. Not too far from one another, definitely would want to be rushing rather than going for a T3. Learn the other Ronto over. Doing a lot of damage to it. Having to change the worker there. Almost mucking this up a wee bit. We'll be looking to get a carbon processor down in a second. That's what Cal, he's pulling over his second Ronto as well. Any really good spots? That's a good spot for carbon. That feels like a terrible spot for carbon. Sort of away from your command center. You can maybe get a nice wall off, like there and there. Do tend to prefer the flatter carbons just because the workers don't now have to like travel up and down elevation, which I do feel makes things take a little bit longer for them. See that Cal's is right up against the edge of the map there. Should be okay for him to wall this off quite easily. Last Ronto being pulled. I think that should get people up to T2, but they might need to throw down a bit of farms just before they start putting out troopers and workers at the same time. Do have the nerfs to supplement things in the meantime though. I would say things are looking quite even between the two of them so far. It's not like anyone's made any catastrophic mistakes or done things super efficiently where they've pulled ahead in any regard. Very even looking. I don't see any deviations from much of the play, except for this food processor that's being thrown down here. Cal could do the same here. You get 140 food from each one of these, so if you eat all of them you get about 500 food, so you get about like an extra Ronto or so. Prefab shelter just in time not to be blocked there. I do see Cal throwing down his troop centre earlier, because he's not opted for that food processor. Gets the food processor afterwards. Sort of even out because he's not really got the power core on it yet, so he's not cut corners to get things up quicker really. He is harassing Halo's worker here, slowing down the production of the troop center while he gets his power core down. Both should be on their way to T2. Alphahalo threatening to resign because he's getting annoyed at being harassed with the scout is considered a little bit BM. I don't really mind it. In the case of a 1v1, it's kind of fair. Like, just don't build things with one worker. If you're doing it in the basis to slow down the building of a building, I think it's okay. If you're just doing it just to annoy people, I like to make things go idle when you're mining. I kind of draw a line there. I don't think that's fair. Well, it's not that it's unfair, I just think it's bullshit. Just don't do it. You're being a dick. Purely because the alerts are annoying. So, preemptive turret coming down from Cal here. I don't think he really needs that just now. He's got scouting advantage, he's not being attacked, he knows he's not being attacked. He knows there's not a lot of troopers out, but he is only going for one troop centre, which is interesting. Going for ore. Playing in a really defensive sort of manner. Maybe going to get like extra turrets sort of around this area. I don't know why you would want to invite pressure like that. I think it's always better to be the aggressor. Especially in a 1v1. Maybe not so much in a team game. Because you can take things a bit slower if you are defensive, and you've got other players to worry about and other nuisances, and turrets hold their own into the mid game, and you've got other players sending little strike mechs all around your base. But in a 1v1, taking the initiative and being in control at the pace of the game, I think is a lot more important. It's almost reflective of what Alphahalo's doing here, because he's not sending his troops out yet, because I think he considered Cal to be ahead of him. In terms of having like troopers out and such, but just more farms being put down, and seems to be getting upgrades for his troops, but just the one troop centre. I don't know if this may be something he's imported from Age of Conquerors that I know he plays a lot of, but he thinks he can only build out with one troop centre just now, so he's only going to have one troop centre while he gets eco upgrades and then maybe adds a second one on later. But I'm not sure why you would choose to go and then trade with your troopers against someone that would have two troop centres. We'll see how it pans out. And then going for a mech factory, so just looking to T3. So if he's looking to T3 and he's pushed out into the map and maybe sort of won a trade there, it will make Alphahalo be a bit more defensive. Because they think, oh well, I've lost some troopers, I need to push back just now. I need to regroup. So maybe you can pull ahead in that regard. But as soon as Alphahalo notices this, then they should be the aggressor and start cutting off, partitioning areas of Cal's base. Applying pressure. Move back into the centre of the map. Looking to prod again. Now, Cal's not going to be able to defend this in the same manner that he did before, because he's not built much troopers. He's cutting corners to get to T3. He's got the two turrets up here to defend this area. That area is fine, but if he's getting on top of here, he's going to have to start garrisoning workers. Food income's not going to come in. These troopers are isolated over here as well. So that slowed down the food income, and I just want to snipe the farms. That's 50 carbon gone. 50 food gone when he killed a worker. Another one almost dying. Getting an angle here away from the CC fire, kill more farms. Cheeky couple of troopers have died there. See another turret's being put down in the Nova now. Okay, Arc, I think he went... No, he's not T3 yet either. When's that happening? It's not even started. Not even close. Not even close. Why? This feels senseless. There's never enough farms for it. You stop building troopers, but why do we need this building? This could be farms. There could be farms all around this food processor. And there could be 2-3 troop centres pumping out troops. And Alphahalo could be dead, really. This is just invited pressure for nothing. Is it out of panic? Does he think you can't go T3? There's still no extra troop centres. And though it's all great and all having this turret, you don't have the troops to push them out of this position. They can just stand on the turret. Now he has to put down another turret to protect the ore. Could have put one in the middle and it'd cover both. Not T3. So we've now got about 4 turrets down. So if you're Alphahalo and you go into T3 at this point, probably don't want to go strike mechs as such. But go in air, be very good. Because they're going to struggle to get anti-air turrets everywhere. More troopers being thrown in, sniping workers. They are hemorrhaging a little bit on the turret, but he's just sniping workers. So it's maybe a decent trade, because he doesn't have to worry about too much about sacking some troopers, because he's only got 1 troop centre to compete against. He's getting some mounties now as well, really looking to bank on the numbers advantage. Don't know if he's maybe hoping to kill a turret, or just get in and get the power core. If he gets the power core, and he goes for a full transition into mounties, you could just kill all the turrets. Because there won't be anything for Cal to defend with. And if Cal does go T3, and you see he's got the 2 mech factories, if he has mounties here, he'll be able to trade with the strikes before they get into like a ball, before you get like 3 or 4 of them that can just sort of snipe mounties, sort of out micro them. So getting onto the animal nursery, which is going to put a lot of pressure onto him. You're going to have to keep repairing this. Otherwise, you're going to lose a big food component of the income there. It's in T3, but his economy is a little bit in shambles, just because now it's getting picked apart. Certainly a much slower tech time than I feel it needed to be. And a much poorer defence than it needed to be as well. You see these mounties now, so what we talked about is before the numbers are out, you can just select one mountie and just click on each of the strike mechs. You see what we're doing there? And this is incredibly difficult for the strike mech player to micro. Even more mounties come in here, so the numbers are just not going to get up. And they die really quickly. And if he just gets onto the power core as well. So he's trying to get fighters out, because the mounties can't do anything to the fighters. He has managed to get 5 up here. He will get the power core. There's no ways repairing that. That is gone. But these fighters did come out. He's got this power droid as well, and I don't think he knows about the power droid, so that'll feel like a bigger victory than it is. At the very least, it is slowing down the attacks, and let's see how Alphahalo's doing now. Nah, pretty broke, but not T3. Got a lot of mounties though. It is only 1 air base, so the fighters don't come out enough to snowball. Not yet anyway. There's just 2 of them. I think they are more expensive or some shit, like Confeds get terrible debuffs or something like that to air. I don't remember what it is. It's not as good. Something like that. Ships passing in the night, running past one another here, leaving these 2 boys in a bad spot. He's maybe looking for another power core, or just going for the turrets. Seems like a bit of a sack for these units. A lot of strike mechs out. I'd say it's maybe keeping him alive, but he's not close to T3. I think it would have been better to keep the mounties at home and then get some grenadiers as well. It'd just make it more difficult that grenadiers could be shot. A lot more anti-air troopers than I think he needed against 1 airbase. Very passive with these units. Like, you fought these attacks off, go counter-attack. He's T2, you're T3. Assert dominance. Like, you need to do damage, right? Because you're going to have a worse economy, really. Because you'll be getting bullied for like 15 minutes. It's also letting him get back into the game, giving him all this time to get extra farms down. Get more Mounties out. I think the more Mounties there are, the more chance that the force does get overwhelmed. Because although there's like a critical point where you can like micro against the Mounties, if they do like, you do hit like 20, 30 of them, like, there's going to be too much HP for you to sort of deal with. You see some Grenadiers getting mixed in as well, which is nice. That's what we need. And this attack's being launched. Oh, that's a fluffy rabbit-esque march right there. The slow waltz over. These three boys are on the scout, led by this grenadier, the grenade trooper. He's dodging. He's dodging. He's still dodging. And he got a shot. What an MVP right there. One fighter goes down. Not being microed. Oh, big shots. 3 go down. Mounties get into combat. These are not being like microed away. They're just doing their natural thing. Oh, but they're still trading extremely well. They've got a lot of upgrades. So that attack's not going well, I'm afraid. Load up another one. Not sure if Alphahalo has decided that they're on the T2 challenge, where they just don't go T3. Looking to shame their opponent by beating them in T2. Could be the case. Caldo's got a second command center, so gonna catch up in the eco, especially sniping these workers as well. The strikes are getting pushed away though. He doesn't want to out micro this army. I'm sure that he very much could with 8 strike max. 3 more coming out. Surprised it never just went like full air. Gone for a 3rd mech factory. I think the air would do a lot more damage and be a lot more problematic. Or if you went for like a 1-1 ratio of like air strike mechs, just make it really difficult for someone who's in T2 to defend. Grenades getting nice shot off. Mounties are trying to get in there. Now, Alpha is almost T3, so this army is only going to get stronger into T3. So he's holding things just now with it, but if he gets T3 and gets the upgrades on it, like, it's a bit more health, a bit more armor. I don't know if they move faster. Probably do. God knows. Feel like they might. But either way, it's going to be a lot stronger. And if this gets wiped, like it cannot be mana there. A bit of a technical difficulty there, getting tabbed out, this window thing. So these mech destroyers have just come out at an unfortunate point and been shot down. Nice little grenade shot there. You need to split these up. He's running through them, which is not a good idea. I don't think they really received any upgrades yet, but he's absolutely fucked that. What was he doing? He's walked into the army and then walked through the army, taking endless damage. So he's just lost all these strikes. So what I was saying before is you cannot rebuild these as quick as you can rebuild this trooper army. These are advanced mounties now. He's going to lace in some mech destroyers as well. Like, this entire army is going to kill this so easily. And the snowballing damage to come of it with the mounties and how much damage they're going to do to buildings, this could be catastrophic for Cal here. Like, this could lose him the game. You can see he's trying to get this fort up. He should be pulling all these workers to get this fort up. And these guys need to be split up. They cannot be together like this. You just let him get on top of you. Want the bomber to be on these as well. So you can't micro properly going in one direction. You need to split them into alternate directions so that the amount of strike mechs that go on each, or the amount of mounties that go on each strike is much lower. He has gotten his fort up, but he's got no strikes now. He doesn't have enough to even attempt to out micro mounties now. They're gonna get the power core. I'd like to see the rally point change just to in his base at this point. Just spam mounties. Looks like he's a little bit low on food. He's building a lot of mounties actually. Get that rally point there. Workers dying everywhere. It could be very, very difficult for Cal to deal with. Geo would be great. The bonus that they do to troopers. No, he's just keeping everything at home. Heavy weapons factory, I think he's going to get an AA mobile and then go for it again. Maybe pummels for the fort. I don't think Cal's really... No, they got the 3 command centres. Thought there'd be a little bit, maybe 4 or 5. Being in T3 for so long. We still on the 1 base challenge? Yes, we are. Abandoned the T2 challenge, but still on the 1 base challenge. I like it. Full aggression here. So there's a forward command center, exposed location. Maybe hoping to secure the ore. These mounties are just running in, disregarding what little army he has at this point. Maybe, I don't know if you could really afford this. He needs all these mechs. Doesn't have a good answer to like upgraded mounties and mech destroyers though. Because he sacked all those strike mechs. No, that's the end, he just gives up. I'd say at many points that could have been Cal's game. But he succumbed to madness with that early mech factory for no reason. And then I think the biggest blunder was the running of the strike mechs forward and then backwards through a lot of mounties. So bad times for Cal Vega there. But anyway, as I said before, if you're looking to get this game, you can get this off of GOG and Steam, and you can play it online at Voobly and Game Ranger. And I'll put the Discord link in the description there as well, if you want to come and join the community and play some games online with some of the folk there. As always, catch you later, and see you in the next video.